How's it going, everybody? Welcome to episode number 18 of AAO Presents Behind the Lens, where I interview a new guest each week about their past, present, and future endeavors. This week, we're joined by another one of the best pro MMA fighters coming out of Michigan. He is now 11-3 as a pro, the number one bantamweight in Michigan. You've seen him at formerly known Lights Out Championship, and you've seen him on UFC The Ultimate Fighter. And most recently, this past Saturday, you may have seen him on ESPN Plus for the PFL World Tournament, where he made his advance into the second round with a submission win over Francisco Nuzzi. Let me welcome to you, Mando El Toro Gutierrez. What's up, Mando? How you feeling?
What's up, my brother? How you doing?
Doing good, man. Just grinding away.
I feel it, bro.
Ways, in different ways than you are, for sure.
Hell yeah.
Well, let's talk a little bit about your fight, man. You truly displayed your skills last Saturday, moving you into round 2 of the PFL World Tournament. Can you talk to me a little bit about that fight? It was a banger for sure. You stole the show. Was there animosity going in? Because clearly you showed that there was something to prove. End of the fight, I saw you kind of push him down, but I didn't really hear as far as what happened between you guys. Can you kind of fill us in?
Yeah, for sure. You know me, man. I'm a humble guy. I'm a chill guy. I just do my work and I show up and I compete, and that's all I love to do, I try to be as simple as possible. I try to be as respectful as possible, and I stay in my own lane. But sometimes, just from time to time, things like get under my skin, like when people say certain things about me, or sometimes people just strike a chord, really. And that's kind of what happened with this one. He was saying, like, I sat down to do my interviews, like, for like the pre-fight stuff, like just whatever it is. And I was hearing during the interviews that he was saying stuff like, oh, he's not impressed by anything you have to bring to the table. He's not impressed by you. You don't belong in a cage with him. Things like that. And stuff like that kind of strikes a chord with me, man, because I work hard for this. I feel like I deserve this. This is my life's work, and I take it seriously. So I definitely went out there with the point to prove. And God willing, things worked out the way it was supposed to. Thank God that I was able to come home with another win, and it felt damn good doing it. I felt like I was putting a bully down, so it was cool.
Yes, sir. I mean, and from now on out, he's gonna remember your name. That's for sure.
Yeah. He's definitely gonna be impressed by something now. That's for sure.
Right. Yeah. He should have been a bit more impressed. Maybe he wasn't ready.
Yeah.
But so for those of you listening that don't know how the PFL World Tournament know about it, it's a bracket style MMA tournament with 3 rounds over the course of 5 months, 3 fights over the course of 5 months, I should say. What do you think about this tournament style bracket, and how does having so little time between fights change your routine? Is it just like a constant camp? Tell me about the changes that you went through in this camp.
I think there was absolutely nothing that happened different for me. I'm always in the gym. I'm always like fight camp ready. Training wise, nothing changes for me ever. I think the only thing that changes for me is like the diet and the mental aspect of a camp. But other than that, everything stays the same. I'm always training hard. I'm always intense. I'm always recovering properly. I'm always taking care of my body and doing all those things. I think the only thing that changes is this benefits me more than anything else. I'm not fighting a guy that only fights once a year and can only make weight once a year. I'm fighting guys that make weight consistently, that fight consistently, or at least for now, the time being, they fight consistently. And I think if anything, it just makes me rise to the occasion, because this is catered to somebody like me, someone who's used to the tournament format and used to making weight often and staying busy and getting right back in the gym and going again. When it comes to like a tournament style, health, recovery, things like that play a big difference. And that's right up my alley. I stay fresh in fights. My style makes it so that I don't really take a lot of damage, and I'm able to stay consistent. So God willing, I'll get through this tournament. I'll stay fresh and I'll be able to go all the way through it.
Yeah, I mean, at the level that you're at, you definitely always got to be ready for any opportunity that presents itself. Because I mean, you were about to fight in Vegas before this came along, and now you obviously took the opportunity and you're here where you are now. So next stop coming June 20th, I believe, you'll be facing Justin Wetzell.
Yeah.
Another bantamweight from the tournament who kind of put on a show Saturday. What do you expect from that fight?
It's a tough fight, but I'm glad that the fight at least has a good price tag on it now. We were about to fight for lights out for a few thousand, which is cool and all. I'm super grateful, but hey, adding a zero at the end of that definitely sounds a whole lot better, So
For
so
sure.
I'm very, very excited about it. It's a matchup that I'm already ready for. It's a matchup that I feel like I'm prepared for and that plays well into my strengths. So I'm really excited about it. He's a tough guy. He knows how to mix it up. He's entertaining. And it's gonna make for a great fight. So I know he's tough. I know he won't quit. I know he'll be right in my face, just like I'll be in his. And like you couldn't ask for a better situation. I think it makes for the perfect style of fight. And we're gonna go out there and we're gonna put on a show. And what better place to do it than a place like this where we're fighting for a $500,000.
Absolutely, man. We're looking forward to seeing that fight.
Yeah.
Once again, June 20th, ESPN Plus for Mando's chance to make it to the finals of the PFL World Tournament. So additionally, I like to ask a question or two about your life outside the fight game. I'm sure
Yeah.
with this type of schedule, you don't really have much time for anything. But when you do, what do you like to do on your free time? Any hobbies? You got any favorite travel destinations? I know I've seen
Oh,
that you get to go
absolutely.
to some pretty outstanding places for sure.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, I've always been a big traveler at heart. I love going all over the country and all over the world. But luckily, the fight game has been able to take me to places I never thought that I'd be able to go to, and not to mention I get to go on like aside from having to pay for it myself, I get to go on somebody else's dime rather than my own. I'm cutting like these are like little fruits of my labor that I'm able to enjoy, but while also still getting better and leveling up, getting work with the best guys in the world and being able to do things like that. But aside from the travel aspect, I think a lot of people know me for my art and like for what I do aside from here, like my barber game and like the fact that I like to draw and paint and do stuff like that. So I'm a freelance artist, so I spent a lot of time, doing graffiti, doing murals, doing commission art pieces, things like that. So that like the artistic side of me kind of just gives me like gives my life a little bit of balance. So aside from violence, I love that.
Absolutely, man. I'm hoping the fight game takes me to some cool places too.
Oh, it absolutely will, bro. If you keep doing the quality of work that you're doing, bro, there's no ceiling on what you can accomplish.
I appreciate it, man.
Hell yeah.
Great to hear. Well, I'm looking forward to your next fight and continuing to watch you strive in this tournament. Inevitably leading you to that PFL Bantamweight Championship and that
Yeah.
fat bag of 500K. That's life-changing money, man. You'll surely be able to do some traveling then.
Hell yeah. Hell yeah.
So thanks again for joining me, Mando. Let everyone know where they can find you on social media and when and where they can watch your fight coming up.
El Toro Guterrez on Instagram, Mando Gutierrez MMA on Facebook. You can find me on anything really. YouTube, same thing. Mando Gutierrez MMA. Stay tuned for the next fight, June 20th against Justin Wetzell. It's going to be a big opportunity, semifinals of the PFL World Tournament, and I hope everybody tunes in, man. I'm ready to take this all the way through. Ready to go out there and win this bag. Take care of business, God willing, everything goes as planned. And thank you, bro. Thank you for the time. Thank you for everything, man.
No problem, man. I appreciate you joining. I will talk to you later. So
For
you
sure.
heard it, guys. June 20th, Mando Gutierrez, Justin Wetzell, a chance to get into the PFL World Tournament Finals. That's all I have for you tonight on Behind the Lens. Be sure to follow AAO Media on all platforms and subscribe for updates on new videos. Until next time, peace.